死んだは初めて俺に伝えている。
絶望の匂いだ。
面白いこと見せようか。ほら、こんなに家賃が多すぎて。
お父さん。
あかん。
ドナルド君、まだ死ぬ時じゃないでしょ。
アメリカ、万歳。ファイト。
絶対負けないよ。
何度つらいとまで。
出ろ。だってまだサンキュー言ってないでしょ。一回も言ってください。
おい、仲良くしてね。この世界、傷ついていけるかな。昔グレートだった。大きにまたグレートになるかも。あのさ、有名人なら誰かのマンコ掴んでいいさ。そう。言い放せるで。
What's going on, everyone? Welcome into CobraCast 199. I told you I'd do another stream tonight, or at least I was like 50-50 on it. And, you know, I was like, the people do so much to support me. Even if I'm like, I don't even know what I'll talk about. I said I might go live. I said, you know what? Even if we can entertain a few people, it will be worth it. So here we are. So let's get this party started. Hope you're all doing well tonight. There's no way I'm muted. Damn y'all. I'm fucking fell for it again. I legit looked. I knew you guys were fucking trolling me, and I still looked. Because I'm like, there's a few people that are saying I'm muted. I might really be muted this time. Fuck. All right. Gifted memberships. I'm dropping them. Fuck you, Gary. I see you, Gary. Now I got to drop gifted memberships. For all those people say he's just a grifter. I mean, I'm in the hole now. I've lost money. Membership gifting. All right, here we go. Boom. There it is. All right, are you happy? I know I wasn't muted, but I fell for the troll. The chat got me, so that's why I have to gift the memberships now. So there you go. So you win again, chat. Okay? You win again. And for the hell of it, you know what? Why not? Why not go ahead and give that to the chat as well? You're welcome. I hope you enjoy it. I didn't even get a proper 199. It doesn't matter. The chat won. I lost, but you all win. We all win right here. So there you go. Okay, now we're all happy. Everybody's happy. And John freaking Murdoch shows up and says, hey, Jeremy, I was expecting you last night. It's the end of the world as we know it, but I feel fine. Hail the 199. Yes, I was going to go live yesterday, and thank you for the 50, John. But I actually, so I did Geeks and Gamers Daily yesterday, and then I was going to do a CobraCast like in between. Then I had Mario Kart last night, and I had too much going on, so I could not work it in. So I'm happy you guys are here tonight. Simple Jeremy with $1. Thank you, Simple Jeremy. But look, we need to go ahead and discuss the most important thing of today, and that is that President Trump is dominating right now, and he's dominating at a level that I don't even think I saw as a huge Trump supporter. I didn't expect him to do this well. I did not. I'm blown away at how well received he has become. And it's such a big difference from, if you go back to 2016, looking at how he was received versus where we are now, it truly is night and day. It really is. And it's great to see, and I'm happy about it. I'm happy that he has, convinced so many people that were not necessarily the haters, because a lot of those people can't be convinced. As a matter of fact, what we have now is we have it on full display what TDS actually means. We have it, ladies and gentlemen. And it's something I haven't talked about, but we're going to talk about it now. After we celebrate Harley Dave with 50 gifted memberships. Holy crap. Harley Dave. Harley Dave said, I'm going to take over. We're okay with that. Good to see you, sir. Salute to you, Harley Dave. Thank you, sir. Someone that doesn't have a lot of respect. Holy crap. John freaking Murdoch for a proper 199 and says, I feel like I need to cover the freebie Sweeneys. Well, everyone appreciates that, John.
I'm so happy you love the first drop of my collection of Frankie's bikinis. We have more dreamy pieces coming our way, so tap to sign up for early access so you can get more information.
I think everybody's okay with that. And I will say that it's really good. It's really good that we have shown Sydney Sweeney a few times. Thank you, Harley. Thank you, John. Because what we're about to show isn't going to make the chat as happy. And that would be a classic case of Trump derangement syndrome. Ladies and gentlemen, none other than the poster child for TDS, Rosie O'Donnell.
During his first go-round, it was very difficult, and I got myself into some bad places. You know, I was very, very depressed. I was overeating. I was over drinking. I was so depressed, Chris. I can't, it hurt my heart that America believed the lies about him. And then it broke my heart to be in a business that creates and sells those lies for profit. You know, it was very heavy, to tell you the truth. That during his first...
Wow. Now, Harley Dave says refund. Harley Dave says refund. Don't worry. We're going to make the whole thing worth it, okay? Don't worry, Harley. We're going to make it all worth it. Because a lot of people might not know the backstory. A lot of people may not know the backstory. A lot of people think that the Rosie O'Donnell Trump feud kind of started when Trump said only Rosie O'Donnell. And that's not where it started. It started because Rosie O'Donnell, when she was on The View, I believe, all these years ago, called Trump a snake oil salesman. She made fun of him. She went off on him. She accused him of all of these different things. And then Trump responded. And this is the classic Trump response, which is truly like, if you think Trump is a badass now, and he is, dude, back in the day, Trump was the ultimate savage.
Well, Rosie O'Donnell's disgusting. I mean, both inside and out. You take a look at her, she's a slob. She talks like a truck driver. Rosie attacked me personally because I was very happy when her talk show failed. The other thing that failed, and this was a real monster, and everybody was suing her, was her magazine. Her magazine called Rosie was a total disaster. So I loved it. I gloat over it. I think it's wonderful because I like to see bad people fail. Rosie failed. I'm happy about it. She's basically a disaster. Well, she called me a snake oil salesman. And, coming from Rosie, that's pretty low because when you look at her and when you see the mind is weak. I don't see it. I don't get it. I never understood. How does she even get on television? I believe Barbara made a terrible mistake putting her on, and I think Barbara's probably paying a big price. If I were running The View, I'd fire Rosie. I mean, I'd look her right in that fat, ugly face of hers. I'd say, Rosie, you're fired.
That fat, ugly face. Let's go. Oh, there's more. Just wait. There's more. I see you, Harley Dave. I see you, you mad lad.
We're all a little chubby, but Rosie's just worse than most of us. But
it never gets old. I've heard that line so many times. We're all a little chubby, but Rosie is worse than most of us.
If I were running The View, I'd fire Rosie. I mean, I'd look her right in that fat, ugly face of hers. I'd say, Rosie, you're fired. We're all a little chubby, but Rosie's just worse than most of us. But it's not the chubbiness. Rosie is a very unattractive person, both inside and out. Rosie's a person that's very lucky to have her girlfriend. And she better be careful or I'll send one of my friends over to pick up her girlfriend. Why would she stay with Rosie if she had another choice?
Dude, the savagery is off the charts. And he would do it too. He would send someone to take her girlfriend.
Rosie's a person that's very lucky to have her girlfriend. And she better be careful or I'll send one of my friends over to pick up her girlfriend. Why would she stay with Rosie if she had another choice? She's trying to use ABC and The View to get even with me. But with me, we fight back. I'll probably sue Rosie because she doesn't tell the facts. As an example, I'm worth many billions of dollars. Now, she said I was bankrupt. I never went bankrupt. So probably I'll sue her because it would be fun. I'd like to take some money out of her fat ass pockets. I actually think they ought to look at her whole life and see where she's coming from because I think she's got some very deep-seated problems. Perhaps it should be Rosie that goes to rehab. Rosie is a loser.
Now going back to that, now think about the fact that she decided to pick a fight with Trump. And then Trump just became more and more and more powerful and influential. And then he became the president of the United States of America. And this was her response to that.
During his first go round, it was very difficult. And I got myself into some bad places. You know, I was very, very depressed. I was overeating. I was over drinking. I was so depressed, Chris. I can't, it hurt my heart that America believed the lies about him. And then it broke my heart to be in a business that creates and sells those lies for profit. It was very heavy, to tell you the truth.
So that's the backstory on Trump versus Rosie. And, a lot of people think that it was all at that, presidential debate. But that was kind of where it just hit the next level. And the volume's a little low on this, but this is that classic moment.
One of the things people love about you is you speak your mind and you don't use a politician's filter. However, that is not without its downsides, in particular when it comes to women. You've called women you don't like fat pigs, dogs, slobs, and disgusting animals. Your Twitter account...
Only Rosie O'Donnell.
No, it wasn't. Your Twitter account...
This is like years later. And this man is a multi-billionaire running for president. He's already flipped the entire political world on its head. And he decides to take another shot at Rosie O'Donnell. He is the definition of petty, and I love it. I love how petty he is. It's so glorious. So there you go, right there. Guess who's not petty, but a legend? Harley Dave dropped another 50 gifted memberships. Holy crap. It's Harley's show, and we're just blessed to be here. Harley Dave with another 50 bomb. Holy crap. Thank you, Harley. Dark Schwartz Rising for 20 says, just tuned in right to the Rosie nostril cam. Thank you. It was a rough time to join. That's why I'm leaving the camera on Megyn Kelly for a few minutes, just to, hopefully make up for that. Vault 95 says, I was about to go to bed, but this is more important. Thank you, Vault 95. I appreciate that. The Under Armour Gamer says, overeating probably did hurt her heart. Philip Butler says, Donald Trump doesn't cause alcoholism. This is true. This is true. Fantastic Mr. Knox says, Rosie blames Trump for her eating and drinking, resulting in her getting chubby and plump. Now she looks unrecognizable and blames Trump for that too. It's glorious, isn't it? It really is. Is it Nader Rageous? Is that how you say it? It says, just because, God bless the 199. Thank you. I appreciate that. Mike S says, Trump took a bullet for us. Yes, he did. Chronicling Mayhem, Sophie says, I'm not a lesbian. Give me Cavill. Thank you, Sophie. Good to see you here. Burb Shid says, Rosie should move to Cutter if she hates the POTUS. I agree. Wouldn't that be good? Sinestro says, CobraCast reported for playing Rosie. I totally understand that. I do understand that. But thank you, guys. Yeah, this is a stream. I went live earlier, and, we covered the Trump press conference, and there was a few other things that I wanted to cover, and I just didn't get a chance to. Here is something that I honestly have not watched this clip because I wanted to react to it live. So I have not. This is a 48-second clip that has been making the rounds on Twitter. And apparently, Jake Paul went on with Piers Morgan, and Jake Paul rage quits during this interview. I don't know the context. I have no idea what happens here, but this has been all over Twitter. So apparently Jake Paul rage quits Piers Morgan interview. So let's listen.
I'm a killer. I get in the ring with the best people. And you get in the ring with a guy who's 50. He's literally nearly as old as me. The only proper boxer you fought was Tommy Fury, and he beat you.
Fought multiple boxers with professional records, including Mike Tyson himself.
Peak Tyson, you wouldn't have lasted 10 seconds.
And you versus going to the gym, you're still a fat ass. We can make up hypotheticals. You should go to the gym. If you went to the gym,
I've been twice this week. You
don't think I can be Mike Tyson. I don't think you go to the gym.
I think you're a great YouTuber.
You think that your opinion matters.
Well, why are you doing my show if it doesn't?
Oh, I'm just taking your audience to sell pay-per-views. I don't give a fuck about your show. You dumbass. This is a fucking business enterprise.
Cheers, Jake. Really enjoyed that. I'm a kid.
So here's the thing about the Paul brothers. I find, and this is crazy to say this, I find Jake more likable than Logan. I find Logan Paul to be one of the most unlikable human beings I have ever seen. I appreciate that Logan Paul is a fantastic athlete because he is, but I truly, truly can't stand Logan Paul. And as Daniel says in the chat, Logan can wrestle, man. Logan is a phenomenal professional wrestler. He is absolutely incredible, and it makes me sick to my stomach to have to admit that. I don't feel that I feel like Jake Paul is getting exactly what he wanted out of this. He's getting publicity. So again, that was the first time I watched it. And so watching it within the context of it, I feel like Jake Paul got exactly what he wanted out of this. These guys really don't have a lot of shame. They are multimillionaires many times over. They are very, very good at marketing. And they're very good at getting attention. And I have no hate on them from that perspective. It's just with Logan Paul, I just feel like Logan Paul is truly just he's like a sociopath, man. He really is. And he really like the whole scamming with the crypto thing. Like I don't really feel bad for people that it's weird because so Logan Paul got caught up in a whole crypto scam thing or something like that. It's not that I feel bad for the people that Logan Paul scammed because I kind of equally look at it like if you're dumb enough to give Logan Paul your money over a crypto thing, then you're dumb enough to lose your money, and I don't have sympathy for you. Yeah, I just don't. Why would I have sympathy for you if you're dumb enough to give Logan fucking Paul your money? It's mind blowing to me. But so I don't hate him because he scammed people. I just hate him because he is a scammer, if that makes sense. But yeah, it's the same thing as like the hot tour girl. Like, I don't feel sorry for the victims of the hot tour girl. If you gave the hot tour girl money, why would I feel sorry for you? If you're that stupid, I would never feel. Why would I feel sorry for you for being stupid? But yeah, so to me, Jake Paul got exactly what he wanted out of this clip, and I don't necessarily fault him for that. I think he did. He got what he wanted. So this was not the clip that I anticipated. I thought it was going to be something more. By the way, on this is just a recommendation for the audience. I just watched a show on Netflix called Waterfront or The Waterfront. And I finished the whole season. It just came out on Netflix. I liked it. It's good. It's not great. It's solid. I'd give it like a 7. So yeah, it's a pretty solid show. So I would recommend it if you're looking for something that's okay. It's okay. The Waterfront, though, pretty good. Waterfront, says Evan S. It's good. Yeah, I saw Gary tweeted out that F1 was really good. I'll be looking. I definitely want to see that. I want to see F1. I think that'll be a good one. So I'm looking forward to that one. Jeremy needs an IDOT crypto coin. Not necessarily an IDOT crypto coin. I don't think I'm going to go down that road anytime soon. Nah. I don't understand crypto enough to even scam anybody. So I guess that's my best argument for it, is that I don't even understand it enough to scam people. So we'll just leave it at that. But if you actually are interested in some IDOT merch, we are in the final run of the Uncle IDOT shirt right there on our Teespring store. So Uncle IDOT, and that will be going away tomorrow night at midnight. So if you have not, make sure you get your Uncle IDOT shirt. And then we're going to be launching more after that. Not from, I think we're going to do some CobraCast merch. Everybody's been asking for CobraCast merch. So I think we're going to launch some CobraCast merch after that. So I will keep you guys posted. Okay, it looks like Trump has decided to launch this Thomas Massie, anti-Thomas Massie ad. New $1 million ad buy from pro-Trump PAC airing in Kentucky against Thomas Massie, highlighting his history of voting against Trump's tax cuts and border security measures. Massie is up for a re-election next fall. Let's watch this.
What happened to Thomas Massie? President Trump is banning sex changes on minors. Massie voted against it. President Trump is cutting taxes and saving Kentucky families $10,000. Massie voted against it. President Trump is securing our border and deporting criminal aliens. Massie voted against Trump again. And after Trump obliterated Iran's nuclear weapons program, Massie sided with Democrats and the Ayatollah. Let's fire Thomas Massie. MAGA Kentucky is responsible for the content of this advertising.
There you go. So Trump said he was going to go after Massie, and he has followed through with that. Here's what's interesting about this is that, like people can look, people can take if you can take your emotions out of it and look at this objectively. Thomas Massie is very popular among his area. He just is. For Trump to have him defeated, Trump's going to have a very, very strong candidate. And I don't know if that candidate's out there. I don't like Massie, but I can be objective on this. But within Kentucky, he's very, very, very popular and very much liked. 100%. Now, the Massie fans, they think that he's more popular than he really is. And he's not. I mean, a lot of these clowns think that he's going to run for president in 2028, and they think he has a chance. Let me remind all of you that this is the same guy that decided to campaign for Ron DeSantis for president. Do you want to remind me how that went? Do you want to remind me how that went? Go ahead, Massie fans. Tell me how that one went. He had zero impact. He had none. He did the best he could to prop up DeSantis against Trump, and it failed miserably. So I'm not really worried about him from a nationwide standpoint, but from a local standpoint in Kentucky, he's going to be a very strong candidate. And so ultimately it's not about Massie, it's about who can they put in that spot. And that's the question that we don't know. I don't like him. And I don't like anybody who just says, oh, my principles. Fuck you. Principles, my ass. You're just going against the grain just for the sake of it. Typical, like it's just libertarian nonsense. This is your Dave Smith candidate right here. Okay. So, not worried about, him from a national level. So we'll see, but Trump is going after him. Trump is fed up with his bullshit. So we'll see how that all plays out. Let's see. Greg Kirby says Trump did do a bankrupt for a casino that failed. War Breer says are all the mods tucked safely in their beds? Mod lives matter. Nope. Eric's here. You see Eric. I don't know if anybody else is in here. Christian says thoughts on how the midterms are going to go given the Trump hat trick with Iran, NATO 199 cast is fun. That's a good question. And I got a video that we can play to help me answer that question. So I'll get to it here in just a minute. Fantastic Knox says both the Paul bros are biatch made. Magnum Norris says, lol, the Paul brothers are not fighters because they ain't coming I can't even say these people's names. I don't follow MMA that much or even boxing. Boxing has fallen off so bad. And look, they're very strategic, man. Like they're good at being professional wrestlers. They're good at being, and when I say professional wrestlers, like Jake Paul's not into the wrestling, but they bring that professional wrestling entertainment value to it. You know what I mean? So, their job is to get paid. That's all they care about. Dark Schwartz Rising for 20 says he was actually a little funny trolling peers, but he lost all credit dipping out of the call. Yeah, I'd have to see the context of that to get the full understanding of it, but he got what he wanted. Lucifer says, Jeremy, I feel ducking retarded giving you money. You should, but I appreciate it. John freaking Murdoch says, just got my Uncle IDOT t-shirt today. Yes. Linko Kenobi sent me a picture of his, and they look really good. So I was really, really happy. To see that they turned out really well. Mike S says, what has Massie done? He doesn't do anything. He just attacks Trump for clout. He just talks like a silver-tongued libertarian. For some reason, they fall for it. Yeah, I mean, that's really all they want. They just want somebody that can. It's the same thing as this clown in New York. He said one thing that the anti-Israel crowd agreed with, so they're willing to overlook his socialism, him being a Muslim and a socialist, because he didn't say nice things about Israel. So that's all they care about. They have very one-track mind. If you say something bad about Israel, they love you no matter what. They don't care about any fucking thing else you say. As long as you say something bad about Israel, then they're like, oh, this guy's awesome. And so that's the Zohan. That's right. Zohan. Matt Frog says he should be trying to go after Lindsey Graham. Look, at the end of the day, Trump likes people that will support what he wants. That's how he operates. Modelicious is off topic. Is the Beavis and Butthead skins in Call of Duty real or a hoax? I'm pretty sure that's real. TJ says, hail. Okay, so let's get to this video right here, because this is, in terms of the midterms and all of that, I think this is a very good kind of way to jump into that topic, because I believe, and I haven't watched this video yet, but I believe that the headline here, I agree with 100%. The headline is from Jesse Waters, this may be Daddy Trump's best week as president ever. I agree with that completely. Here we go.
Democrats are admitting this may be Donald Trump's best week as president. NATO is calling him daddy. The ceasefire's holding, Iran's nuclear program's obliterated, and the stock market's about to hit an all-time high. Today at the Pentagon, Pistol Pete spiked the football right in the media's face.
Okay, I like Pistol Pete is a damn good name for Pete Hegseth. It's a callback to Pistol Pete Maravich. Pistol Pete, I like it. That's a damn good nickname.
Secretary Hegseth and General Raisin Kane thanked the boys in the B-2s who pulled off Saturday's operation. A mission 15 years in the making. In 2009, an officer was brought into a secret vault and briefed on a major construction project in Iran's mountain.
For more than 15 years, this officer and his teammate lived and breathed this single target, Fordo. He watched the Iranians dig it out. He watched the construction, the weather, the discard material, the geology, the construction materials. where the materials came from. He looked at the vent shaft, the exhaust shaft, the electrical systems, the environmental control systems, every nook, every crater, every piece of equipment going in and every piece of equipment going out. They literally dreamed about this target at night when they slept. They thought about it driving back and forth to work, and they knew from the very first days what this was for. And along the way, they realized we did not have a weapon that could adequately strike and kill this target. So they began a journey to work with industry and other tacticians to develop the GBU-57.
For over a decade, PhDs, geologists, and munition teams perfected the blast. They practiced it on dummy mountains. The bunker buster was born. Then the Air Force got a call Friday. Trump said the mission was a go.
The crews that attacked Fordo were from the active duty Air Force and the Missouri Air National Guard. The crews ranked from captain to colonel. And
do you understand the message that has been sent by the Trump administration is that you will not fuck with us? We can take you out undetected and be gone before you even know what hit you. That is the message that has been sent with this. And it's a damn good message. We have the greatest military in the world, and it's not even close. And a true message was sent. So much was accomplished by this. And let me remind you, I was not happy with the strikes when they first happened because I didn't understand the plan. And for all the people that say like, oh, he just follows everything Trump does. No, I didn't just blindly go, I trust Trump. I should have, but I didn't. I was like, I don't like how this looks. I don't know what this is, what are we doing? What is Israel's involvement? But ultimately, now that we are beyond it, look at what it accomplished. Look at what this has accomplished and look at the clout that Trump has around the world. Nobody is going to fuck with him. Nobody. And it's glorious.
And most were graduates of the Air Force Weapons School headquartered at Nellis Air Force Base in Nevada. I will state for the record that there is no beach volleyball or football at the Air Force Weapons School.
The target was the size of a washing.
Laughing Man says Jeremy's a panicking. Mad Frog says you will be vindicated, Jeremy. Iran will never stop trying to get a bomb. All this did was destroy negotiations. I don't know. I mean, at the end of the day, that's changing the rules of it. Like right now where we are, like Trump clearly made the right decision. If things change, that's not necessarily his control. And so I can't really, even if things change down the road, it still doesn't change what he did and what he has accomplished overall. So I would never go back on that. I mean, like I had people commenting on when I said when the ceasefire happened, if you remember on that stream, I said, look, he accomplished it. Now, I fully expect the ceasefire to be broken because these two idiots, these countries have been fighting forever. I said that on the stream. I'm like, I fully expect the ceasefire to be broken. Of course, that's what happened. But it being broken actually was a good thing because of how Trump handled it. Now, I had people coming at me, go, what do you think, Jeremy? Ha, the ceasefire's broken. I'm like, dude, I literally predicted it would be broken. Like, I literally said that these guys would break it, but it doesn't change what was accomplished.
Machine. Miss, and the mission fails.
The United States decided to strike these two ventilation shafts, seen here on the main graphic, as the primary point of entry into the mission space. In the days preceding the attack against Fordo, the Iranians attempted to cover the shafts with concrete to try to prevent an attack. The cap was forcibly removed by the first weapon, and the main shaft was uncovered. Weapons 2, 3, 4, 5 were tasked to enter the main shaft, move down into the complex at greater than 1,000 feet per second, and explode in the mission space. The primary kill mechanism in the mission space was a mix of overpressure and blast ripping through the open tunnels and destroying critical hardware.
The Pentagon releasing these videos simulating the bomb blast. We dropped 420,000 pounds of these beasts and then threw in 30,000 pounds of tomahawks just for dessert. That kind of firepower, that cavern lab is incinerated. After 6 bullseyes, we knew the regime would retaliate, and they did, lobbing missiles at our largest base in the region, and our soldiers were ready.
You know that you're going to have approximately 2 minutes, 120 seconds to either succeed or fail. The sun sets in the west, Iran attacks. As the targets were detected, round after round of Patriot missiles are ejected from their canisters by an initial launch charge. Then the main solid rocket motor ignites. You can feel this in your body if you've ever been around a Patriot taking a shot. And round after round goes out and guides against those missiles coming inbound. We believe that this is the largest single Patriot engagement in U.S. military history. These awesome humans, along with their Qatari brothers and sisters in arms, stood between a salvo of Iranian missiles and the safety of Al Udeid. They are the unsung heroes of the 21st century United States Army.
Patriot battery operators were hooting and hollering that night as they intercepted missile after missile from the mullahs. We're so proud of our men and women in uniform. Such courage and such ingenuity.
But of course, CNN and MSNBC and all of these other mainstream outlets, and I'm not in love with Fox. You know, I don't necessarily love Fox News either. I think Fox News is good for the grift, but I don't necessarily. I like Jesse Waters. It looks like, didn't Fox News just hire Brett Cooper, which is a phenomenal move, by the way, to hire Brett Cooper. She's got a great personality. But so that was a great move by them to hire her in. So they have good, they have people I like, but Fox News overall, fuck Fox News.
The mission was perfectly executed. The only question is if Iran moved their uranium.
The uranium was removed from the facility before the B-2 struck.
So I'm not aware of any intelligence that I've reviewed that says things were not where they were supposed to be, moved or otherwise.
The International Atomic Energy Agency and the Israeli Atomic Energy Commission both say the American payloads completely destroyed the enrichment facilities and the centrifuges. Iran's even admitting its nuclear sites are toast.
Our nuclear installations have been badly damaged, that's for sure, because it has come under repeated attacks by Israeli and American aggressors.
The only ones who say Iran's nuke program survived, besides CNN, is the Ayatollah, who came out of hiding and says he slapped us like Bridget Macron.
The Islamic Republic dealt a severe slap to the face of America.
Besides Iranian back,
dude. And again, this guy speaks propaganda just so he can make his people think something. They spew propaganda constantly. And we learned that through this 12-day war. We learned that Iran's propaganda is off the charts, man. It was unbelievable. And so many of these sites were running with it as it was just like fact. And that's what caused so much of the chaos on Twitter, is that so many of these counts ran with the bullshit that Iran was spewing, and they were just like reporting on it. And everybody was going crazy. And I'm like, do you guys not understand what's happening right now? Like, how are you falling for this? But that's what happens.
Baghdad Bob, CNN couldn't find a single soul to back up their fake story. Oh, and they tried.
You could see that the key nodes of a centrifuge program were hit. So the program is severely damaged.
I am confident that Iran has suffered a catastrophic blow to its enrichment program.
They did it perfectly. So we should have, as kind of Norm said, an expectation that there was significant damage.
The reporter who fronted the piece is a known con artist. They call her Nasty Natasha.
In 2020, it was Natasha Bertrand who had 51 intelligence analysts falsely lie to her, but she still put it on paper for some reason, that the Hunter Biden laptop story was Russian disinformation. Also, in 2024, Bertrand pushed the suckers and losers hoax. She also pushed the fine people hoax, which was taking the president's words purposely out of context. And so this is a reporter who has been unfortunately used by people who dislike Donald Trump in this government to push fake and false narratives. She should be ashamed of herself.
Now, Trump is considering suing the fake New York Times and CNN over their smears on the Iran operation. Now, you know, Trump is already suing ABC, CBS, and he's destroyed them. And so he could absolutely crush CNN and the New York Times over this. And I hope he does. I absolutely does. He's really pissed off about this, and he has gone off on CNN and MSNBC on their reporting. I mean, he was mad as hell the other day. Let me see if I can find that clip, because this was like right before he said, like, you know, they don't know what the fuck they're doing. He was going off on them. It was glorious to see. If I can find that clip. He was so mad. I haven't seen Trump that mad in a long time. I talked about that earlier today, where we've never, like, Trump is really never like out of control. It's just not in his nature. He's very measured, and he's been famous for my entire life, and we've really never seen him like lose his cool or anything. I'll find that clip. We'll continue to play this one for now. Here we go.
You know, it's really bad when Morning Joe won't touch the bunker buster hoax.
We also have to be cautious about being played by people inside the intel community who want to get their message out. That's happened an awful lot. Happened a lot in Iraq. It happened a lot in Afghanistan. So again, that's why waiting to see what happens actually, and not drawing too many conclusions makes sense.
Jake Tapper says he's just being a journalist and asking questions.
Asking questions is literally our job, demanding facts and answers instead of just taking a president's word for it.
Jake just started asking questions when Trump got sworn in. He
Yeah,
never asked why
exactly.
Biden's taking the short stairs or why an Alzheimer's doctor's visiting the White House every week. Now, we're not saying you have to believe everything the president says. You don't. But use your head. The Air Force hasn't missed a target since Desert Storm. CNN just spent 48 hours claiming our bombs don't work and Iran's nuke program's intact. Now Tapper's saying, we were just demanding answers. And his next book's going to be called How Trump Destroyed Fordo.
So here's what Trump said about CNN. This is so good.
That place is demolished. The B-2 pilots did their job. They did it better than anybody could even imagine. They hit late in the evening. It was dark with no moon, and they hit that target with every one of those things, and that place is gone. But when I see CNN all night long, they're trying to say, well, maybe it wasn't really as demolished as we thought. It was demolished. You take a look at the pinpricks, and you see that place is gone. And I will say, I think CNN ought to apologize to the pilots of the B-2s. I think that MSDNC ought to apologize. I think these guys really, these networks and these cable networks are real losers. You really are. You're real losers. You're gutless losers. I say that to CNN because I watch it. I have no choice. I got to watch that garbage. It's all garbage. It's all fake news. But I think CNN is a gutless group of people. And the people that run it, nobody even knows it's been sold so many times. But the people that run it ought to be ashamed. MSDNC, a guy named Brian Roberts, he heads it. He's a disgrace. He's a weak, pathetic disgrace.
Just walk. And then a few minutes later is when he dropped the classic F-bomb right there.
Trump says fake news CNN is so disgusting and incompetent, some of the dumbest anchors in the business. Hegseth says they all just have a wicked case of TDS.
Because you, and I mean specifically you, the press, specifically you, the press corps, because you cheer against Trump so hard, It's like in your DNA and in your blood to cheer against Trump because you want him not to be successful so bad. You have to cheer against the efficacy of these strikes. You have to hope maybe they weren't effective. Maybe the way the Trump administration has represented them isn't true. So let's take half-truths, spun information, leaked information, and then spin it in every way we can to try to cause doubt and manipulate the public mind over whether or not our brave pilots were successful.
Today, Democrats got briefed on
Hell
Operation
yeah.
Midnight Hammer. And here's Chuck Schumer's takeaway.
There was no coherent strategy, no end game, no plan, no specific, no detailed plan on how Iran does not attain a nuclear weapon.
Palestinian senator.
Schumer must still be dehydrated from the elliptical because the strategy to prevent Iran from obtaining a nuclear weapon was to bomb the places where they were making nuclear weapons. What is wrong with this guy? It's starting to look like the leaker didn't come from the Pentagon. They came from Congress.
We're investigating who that leaker was. It could have been someone in the intelligence community, or it could have been someone on Capitol Hill who had access to this document. The FBI is searching for that person.
Donald Trump says the Democrats are the ones who leaked the information on the perfect flight to the.
So for the context, if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, this is what Trump said earlier about Schumer right here.
The other day, guys like Schumer, our great Palestinian senator, this guy, no, he's changed. He used to like Jewish people. Now he's totally against Jewish people. It's the most incredible transformation I think I've ever seen. But who would allow this to happen? And
so that was earlier.
The nuclear sites in Iran. They should be prosecuted. The Justice Department says if they find someone in Congress leaked, they're going to prison.
I'm not aware of an immunity clause that protects anybody in this country from disclosing classified, top secret, or even higher information to the New York Times.
Democrats are now complaining that Trump isn't sharing all of his intel with them. Maybe that's because they keep leaking it. Now, if Trump gave Democrats a heads up on Operation Midnight Hammer, they would have told the Ayatollah. That can't happen. Daddy hates leaks in the House. Click here to
It's 100%, man. If you look at what this week has been, it has been phenomenal for President Trump. And so many people that are, I always talk about it, but he just continues to convince people that are maybe on the fence or maybe that are in the middle. He just continues to win more and more people over. And yeah, you look at his plans and most of it on the outside of looking in, you're like, this makes no sense. There's no way this should work. There's no way this should be successful. And every time he pulls it off, he is a chaotic genius is probably the best way that you can describe him, is a chaotic genius. He has instincts that you can't explain. And you just got to get out of the way and let this man cook. Jason Taylor for $20 says, longtime lurker, but since you've become my go-to for news, I might as well feed the grift. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I really do appreciate that. Thank you so much. Again, if I'm the guy you're coming to for news, we are fucked, but I do appreciate it. We're in bad shape. Primark Vulcan says, when I was growing up in San Antonio in the early 90s, we had a Chuck E. Cheese competitor called Pistol Pete's. Really? I've never heard of that. Obviously, I've heard Chuck E. Cheese, but I never heard of Pistol Pete's. So maybe that was local in Texas. Mike S. says, sorry, chat, but here's the hard truth. Fuck Massie. What honestly can you claim he's done for you? The only time you ever hear from Massie is when he's attacking Trump. He's a clout chaser. I agree with everything you're saying. And then, guys, we should support Massie and his position against Trump because Massie made his voice heard sternly against other forgettable things he won't fix, but we will keep whining about it. You're not wrong. I agree with everything you're saying. I'm not a fan of the guy at all. Basket City for $2. Thank you. Little Jim's Ringo Halo says, let's hope the Zohan gets deported. Lucifer says, Jeremy, true you wear a G-banger during streams. That's gay to ask another dude that question, but no. JRG says, to those B2 pilots, a great shot, kid. That was 1 in a million. Stymie says, Jeremy, Iran's nuclear program has been set back 10 years. JRG Project says, the pilots literally did the Death Star trench run in the literal bat wing while probably rocking to Danger Zone. Dude, if I found out they were rocking to Danger Zone, that would be awesome. Lucifer says, never forget Chris Wallace Fox News debate. I remember the moment where Trump destroyed Chris Wallace with facts. Let me see. I don't know if I'll be able to find that one. Let's see here. So, Chris Wallace Trump. Let's see if we can find that one. Yeah, because he was like, Chris Wallace said something, and Trump responded with receipts, and it was great. But I don't know if I can find it. I don't know where that clip went. Fox News in 4 minutes. That one's. I don't know if I can find that one. Because he called Kayleigh McEnany in. And of course, the Washington Post doesn't have that clip. They've got like the Trump interview in 4 minutes, but I don't actually see the full clip from it. It was so good too, because Trump didn't even know that question was happening. This is like back during COVID or some bullshit like that. I don't know if there. I'm looking to see if anybody put in the timestamp so I could find it. Let's see. No. Yeah, I usually have that one kind of like sitting in one of my bookmarked sections to show it, because a lot of people haven't seen that clip for whatever reason. Let's see. I don't think that one's it. All right, can't find it right now, so we'll come back to it later on. Or I guess Cam Man always finds these things for me and then messages me, and then he yells at me because I didn't see his message. But that's how it always works. So. Okay, let's see. Oh my God. This is one of my old clips that I just saw. This is one of these old memes. I forgot I had that one. I forgot all about that one. Oh, that one's good. What are these? So yeah, there's like I do have this one. Here's one of the old but gold ones right here.
I would like for you to answer the question.
Okay, it's very simple to answer.
That's why I asked it.
It's very simple to. You're a nasty person, I'll tell you.
Can you answer why you?
Very
why
simple.
You're a nasty person. Oh, so good. I've got a few of these old clips, though. I figured it would be in. These are so good, dude.
Go ahead.
Afghan suffered women as a high expectation from you. Do you have any plan to change Afghanistan situation? Are you able to recognize Taliban? Because I'm an Afghan journalist. Afghan suffered women. Any comment about Afghanistan? What's your future plan for Afghan people, especially Afghanistan?
I have a little hard time understanding you. Where are you from? Oh, actually, it's a beautiful voice and a beautiful accent. The only problem is I can't understand a word you're saying. But I just say this: good luck, live in peace. Go ahead, please.
Good luck and live in peace. You got a beautiful voice. I just can't understand a damn word you're saying.
I have a little hard time understanding you. Where are you from? Oh, actually, it's a beautiful voice and a beautiful accent. The only problem is I can't understand a word you're saying.
But I just say this, good luck. Live in peace. Go ahead, please.
That is so good. Good luck and live in peace. Holy crap. Some of these clips. Now you guys got me looking through some of my older clips. This is a old but gold right here from our good buddy, John Kennedy.
Violent crime is surging in Louisiana. Woke leaders blame the police. I blame the criminals. A mom should not have to look over her shoulder when she's pumping gas. I voted against the early release of violent criminals, and I opposed defunding the police. Look, if you hate cops just because they're cops, the next time you get in trouble, call a crackhead. I'm John Kennedy, and I approve this message.
Call a crackhead. Somebody said that's an older version of Ryan. I 100% co-sign that. That is definitely an older version of Ryan. All right. I'm looking through a lot. These are just all these old clips are so good, man. Anyway, Daniel says, "Hey, Jeremy, did you watch the Daddy's Home NATO Summit video posted by the White House yet? They actually used the real song by Usher. I bookmarked it, but I did not see it. So yeah, I bookmarked it, but I did not see it, and I probably can't play it if they've got Usher music, but I will look at it." Chronicling Mayhem says, "People forget normal Iranians want current regime gone." Let's see. 3 for 20 says, "OG beef with Rosie and Donald J. Trump. She had ladies talk show. Let's see. She had ladies talk show, loved Tom Cruise, fake straight, made a fortune, tanked beloved ladies mag, McCall's. After fired, she came out super gay. He called her a grifter. She called him a snake oil salesman." Look at the update right there. Thank you, 3. Appreciate that. Yeah, like Rosie went off on him about like the Miss USA pageant and all of that. There's so many clips of that beef back in the day. Jacob says, "Greenland will be ours." Little Jims says, "Which congressman leaked the report? Who do you think?" Whoever, like, it's gonna have to, I would say, honestly, I wouldn't even say it's just a Democrat. I think there's some Republicans that could probably be thrown into there as well. But wouldn't it be funny if it was Massie? So wouldn't it be funny if Representative Massie did it? Let's see. Begins with a T. You think so? Adam Schiff? I don't think so. I don't think it's a Democrat. I really don't. I think it's probably a Republican. I don't know. Get Massie out. It's not. I don't think Massie leaked it, by the way. It would be funny, but I don't think he did. Mike Pence doesn't have any information. Mike Pence is a fucking retard, though. Let's see here. Fantastic Mr. Knox says, "Would you consider Trump as chaotic good?" Oh, 100%. 100%. I do have this other clip that, so, there's a lot of reports, and I don't know how seriously we can take this particular individual, which this isn't a particular individual per se. This is a very, I don't know much about him, but apparently Elon's dad spoke with Alex Jones, and he had some things to say about the current situation with Elon and President Trump. So let's listen.
I mean, even myself, like about before 10 years ago, I actually used to watch CNN, and I would watch BBC. And about 2015, I seem to remember looking at CNN and that, I thought there's something wrong with what these people are saying. Within myself, I started to say, wait, there's something wrong here. This doesn't add up, the things they're saying. And of course, slowly, we all sort of woke up. I certainly woke up to the reality, and so did Elon and Kimball, my sons, because up to that time, they considered me evil for even suggesting that Trump was a good choice, and told me to my face, that I'm an idiot. And now, since then, they've changed as well, and they are, apart from the recent argument between the two, the domestic quarrel that was recently between Trump and Elon, they're totally behind Trump, totally behind what's going on. And that's great.
So there you go. That's Elon Musk's dad saying that, Trump and Elon are good. I would think that with all the problems that Elon faced with his, support of President Trump, it's probably better for Elon that if him and Trump are on good terms, that they just probably should not be publicly together, because the hatred for Elon was just next level. So I kind of buy that. I buy that. And I'm glad that if that is the case. I don't know what Elon's relationship is with his dad. I don't know if they have a good relationship or not. I have no idea. Probably isn't a great relationship, considering I didn't know much about his dad. So I don't know. So it's not good. It's bad. He has a bad relationship with his dad. Okay. So there you go. I know he has a good relationship with his mom, but it doesn't seem like he has a good relationship with his dad. So, let's see here. Mike S says Massie wouldn't even exist without Trump. Lying Dog Face Pony Soldier with a gifted membership. Thank you. Nader's Brick says, you know what else gets named Rosie? Cows. You're not wrong. Not at all. All right. Bookmarks. Let's see. We have more stuff to talk about, more stuff to cover. So I don't know if this is going to convince you guys. This is pretty convincing right here. This was pretty convincing. Okay. So the whole point of this, movement of like trans people is there's a lot of, negativity towards trans people. And so this video really did put into perspective for me. Can you spot the trans person? And the whole point is that if you didn't even know that they were trans, you wouldn't even be able to see it with your own eyes. So I'm going to ask you, the chat, can you help out? Can you spot the trans person?
Go ahead and find the trans person.
Now, I don't know about you guys, but I have no idea, man. Like, I am completely like, how in the hell could you? Like, I'm just tough, man. It's tough. So oh man, I just wanted to show you guys that one because it was funny. I don't know who that guy is. I'm assuming he does comedic videos. Hang on, let's play the whole video. Hang on, here we go. Let's play the whole video.
Go ahead and find the trans person. Couldn't find them, huh? That's because they're normal people and they look just like us and they live amongst us. So be nice to everyone.
They live amongst us. Like, what are we doing? They live amongst us. Woo! That's pretty good right there. That's a good gimmick. I appreciate his gimmick that he has going on there. So, I got another one for you because I can't play. You know what? I'm gonna go ahead and just try to play this. It's been a good run. Trump's had a good week. His poll numbers are higher than they've ever been. He has basically created world peace. He's stopping wars. America is more respected than it's ever been. He's being called daddy at NATO. But it's all about to end, ladies and gentlemen, because the Democrats, they now have brought out the big guns. And I'm just going to go ahead and I'm just going to have to shoot straight. Like, it's over. Trump is done. What I'm about to show you, he cannot. Like, I know indictments, raiding Mar-a-Lago, being shot at, his family being harassed, his business partners being arrested, the hatred targeting his companies. But he can't survive this. Nobody can. So here we go.
Thought for a second my voice was in your head, girl. You walk like a bitch when
Don Lemon and I'm gonna be honest. I don't remember this kid's name. What's this fucking kid's name? I just drew a blank. What's this kid's name? The fuck's this kid's name? I forgot his Harry Sisson. Somebody said Sissy. Harry Sisson. There it is. Harry Sisson. So Harry Sisson and Don Lemon have decided to team up to take down Trump. This is how you're going to get male voters to go like, man, I really need to vote Democrat. I really need to vote Democrat so I can be like these two gay guys. Good Lord. So yeah, Trump is over. It's done. He can't survive this one, guys. He can't survive. Dark Schwartz rising for 20 says Elon's dad only showed up again when Elon started to rise to wealth. He's a POS. There you go. Yeah, I guess I'd never heard of like Elon having a decent relationship with his dad. So there you go. And by the way, we got to give a big shout out to Harley Dave. He's dropped 100 gifted memberships during this stream. 100 gifted memberships. Harley Dave. Let's freaking go. Thank you, Harley Dave. I got that one. Lying Dog Face Pony Soldier with a gifted membership. Thank you. I Lucifer says that's not your mother, Basil. That's a man, baby. Taker says new Among Us DLC. Find the trans. Fantastic Knox says I thought the Democrats' big guns was sending that big chubby woman to change the minds of men to become Democrats and away from MAGA. Look at all those dubs for Harley in the chat. Dubs for Harley Dave in the chat. Yeah, so we're done though. Don Lemon and Harry Sisson, it's over. Tucker Carlson apparently. So first, I'm thinking you guys saw this earlier, but I want to play the proper context for all of you. So Pete Hegseth, Fox News. Okay. So for the full context here, right here. This is earlier today with Pete Hegseth, and he went after this Fox News reporter.
Highly enriched uranium. Do you have certainty that all the highly enriched uranium was inside the Fordo Mountain, or some of it, because there were satellite photos that showed more than a dozen trucks there 2 days in advance? Are you certain none of that highly enriched uranium was moved?
Of course, we're watching every single aspect. But Jennifer, you've been about the worst, the one who misrepresents the most intentionally.
I don't.
What the president says.
So again, the look on her face when he calls her out, she goes full Karen mode as soon as he calls her out.
Are you certain none of that highly enriched uranium was moved?
Of course, we're watching every single aspect. But Jennifer, you've been about the worst, the one who misrepresents the most intentionally.
I don't.
What the president says. I'm familiar.
About the ventilation shafts on Saturday night. And in fact, I was the first to describe the B-2 bombers, the refueling, the entire mission with great accuracy. So I take issue with that.
I appreciate you acknowledging
You
that
have
this was the
issues.
first the most successful mission based on operational security that this department has done since you've been here, and I appreciate that.
So she did the meme. She did the meme right here. And it was glorious. Now, Tucker Carlson has commented on this this chick right here. So as you know, Tucker Carlson used to work for Fox News. He was the top guy at Fox News. So let's listen to what Tucker has to say.
Jen Griffin is a liar, but also very liberal. Wow, true Trump hater. To the point where I complained about her, and I really tried not to complain about other people at Fox when I worked there because, like, I don't like that, office politics stuff. But she was discrediting the channel. She was such a Trump hater. And it was like emotional, like her internal memos, from the Pentagon, sources are telling us, were like screeds. It was like, oh, I'll just read Political Playbook if that's what, or whatever. I'll read Mother Jones. And I said to an executive at Fox, like, what are we doing with this Jennifer Griffin person? She's an idiot. She doesn't tell the truth. She misleads our viewers. And she's like a screaming liberal who hates Trump, who our viewers love. So what are we getting out of this? And I was like, oh, whatever. It's like, boy, you could not touch Jennifer Griffin. I don't know what that's about.
So that's interesting. That's very interesting that, after Pete Hegseth called her out to her face, now you have Tucker Carlson who's co-signing it. And I got a feeling she's facing now. Is she well connected? Is she somebody's, family member? I have no idea. So, but that was pretty good to see that. And I'm glad that Hegseth called her out. And I'm also glad that Tucker Carlson co-signed it. So I guess we'll see. But she's in full Karen mode. She's in full Karen mode. And of course, the meme right there. Perfect indeed. Fantastic Mr. Knox. I got that one. Long Claw with a gifted membership. Thank you, Lying Dog Face Pony Soldier with the gifted membership. Unworn Owl says, for 10, says the White House Daddy Trump video is the best thing to come out of the NATO meeting. Yeah, if it didn't have copyrighted material, I would 100% play it. But if it has copyrighted music, I'll get hit. Especially if it's like, more than like 30 seconds long. So, oh crap, Carol from The Walking Dead. Holy shit. Oh my goodness. Carol from The Walking Dead. That is freaking great. That's exactly who she looks like. Fantastic Synopsis says sending Sisson and Don Lemon to change minds is going to really change the minds of Americans. That's right. Going to work out. Right. Exactly. Jason says, hail Jer, mods, and chat. Can you believe we still have 3.5 more years of this winning? Rages with shirt off like Alex Jones in the chat. I know it's going to be a hell of a 3.5 years. And the snake pit is going to be here to cover all of it. And it's going to be awesome. Now, we got some sad news the other day. It was reported that the legendary Big Balls from Doge resigned from the White House. Big Balls became an iconic, member of the Doge team, and Big Balls resigned from the White House. Very, very sad news. But it gets better because Doge's Big Balls is back in the Trump administration, a White House official tells Wired. So Big Balls is now working full-time with the Social Security Administration, identifying rampant waste fraud, and he's back, baby. Let's go. So it was reported like 2 days ago that Big Balls has left, and now he's back. So that means CNN has to continue to report on Big Balls. Dude, I love the timeline where the mainstream has to report on Big Balls. It's the greatest thing ever, dude. Big Balls oversight. Oh, man. The best timeline. Thank you to Elon for making this possible. Elon and Trump. I don't know if you guys missed this earlier, but for those that didn't catch the earlier stream, construction has started in Florida for a facility surrounded by alligators that will detain 5,000 illegals. It will be ready in 1 month. It's called Alligator Alcatraz.
Starting next month, 5,000 migrants will be housed in trailers and heavy-duty tents at this remote, abandoned airfield.
As I call it, Alligator Alcatraz.
In a promotional video set to music, Florida's Attorney General lays out what he considers a deterrent for any potential escapees.
People get out, there's not much waiting for them other than alligators and pythons.
But some local officials warn the environmental impact could be devastating.
We have environmental and physical stewardship and safety concerns.
The Trump administration has said it wants to get up to 100,000 beds at detention centers across the
Environmentalist, get fucked. Nobody cares what some environmentalist thinks about anything. Literally, there's not a single opinion in the world that I care about what some environmentalist thinks. Never. There's not one single thing that I need their opinion on at all. None. What does this see? Dr. Phil goes off on the legacy media. Okay, let's hear what Dr. Phil's got to say.
Is about how so many on the left would rather see Trump fail than prevent a terrorist regime from starting a nuclear war.
Yes.
Come on, you may like Trump, you may not like Trump, but you have to love America and you have to hate nuclear war. Headlines. U.S. strikes failed to destroy Iran's nuclear sites. That's Reuters. It's like, hey, guys, good news. Maybe he didn't get it done. Another headline.
Disgusting.
Ceasefire between Israel and Iran appears to hold as Trump vents frustration with both sides. AP News. Trump takes his go it alone approach to NATO summit after announcing Israel-Iran ceasefire.
These are absolutely insane headlines. They truly do hate America. They don't even hate Trump. They hate America because they hate that Donald Trump is bringing the American dream back to the forefront. And they hate the American dream. And they hate Trump for bringing that American dream back to the forefront.
Criticize this guy that took initiative and knocked a terrorist government, a terrorist regime back from the brink of having nuclear weapons. This is not a glass half full headline group here. It's the left rooting for mission failure and hoping the ceasefire fails. It gets worse. MSNBC political analyst, a former Obama official, says Iran doesn't really mean it when it says death to America.
I went to Iran in 2014. I was sitting at a rally. These young guys were chanting death to America. I had a minder. I said, what are they saying? They're saying death to America. They finished the chant, and two young men came over and said, are you American? I said, yes. We want to welcome you to our country. We love American culture and love American movies. They wanted to talk about all these things. Iran is the most Western nation in the whole.
But if I'm singing a rap song and I say the N-word, I have to lose everything. But it's okay for them to say death to America. That's okay. But how dare you sing rap lyrics? First of all, this never happened. This is a classic Democratic bullshit story. Just like Kamala Harris's freedom story, okay? Just like when Democrats say, my 2-day-old baby was looking at me and said, Mommy, why does Donald Trump hate black people? Why, Mommy? And I had to look at my 2-day-old baby and go, honey, because Donald Trump's a racist. Donald Trump hates all minorities. And my 2-day-old baby just stood up with tears coming down her face. And we hugged and embraced. And we just said, thank God for Kamala. Yeah, that's what Democrats do. Shout out to X-Wing for the raid. Thank you, X-Wing. Appreciate it, brother.
Whole Middle East. We have much more in common with them than a lot of countries that we do have alliances with.
Let me talk to you from a psychological standpoint for a minute. You listen to people long.
My bad. I forgot to add that the 2-day-old baby was actually a 2-day-old trans baby. So, because Democrats have 2-day-old trans babies, by the way. So my 2-day-old trans baby was watching CNN the other day, And my 2-day-old trans baby said, Mommy, why does Donald Trump hate trans people? And I looked at my baby and I said, honey, because he's a racist and a sexist. My 2-day-old trans baby stood up and said, thank God for Kamala Harris. That's how a Democrat story is.
Long enough, they'll tell you who they are. You watch them long enough, they'll show you who they are. When you've listened to this regime year after year after year tell you who they are, you better believe them. When you watch their proxies go out and attack and kill Americans, believe what they say, believe what they do. I don't know what these left media outlets think. We're going to believe our lying eyes or what they're telling you. At some point, you got to say enough's enough. And
I see X-Wing in the chat. He's for 5 says Jeremy's a stupid name. So guys, X-Wing actually texted me earlier and he told me, he's like, I'm going to raid you and I'm going to need you to play a clip for me. This is for X-Wing. This is the clip he wanted. So you cannot blame me. So this is the clip that X-Wing wanted. You can't blame me. So this is for X-Wing right here. Okay. This is the clip he wanted. This is the clip he requested it. Okay. You ready for this? Here we go.
10 years in the public eye, 8 years in the White House, where every word, every utterance, every heel on my shoe, every blink of my eye, every fist bump was analyzed, dissected, and broadcast, celebrated in some instances, and ridiculed or disparaged in others. 10 years in the public eye.
And I think that there's only one thing you play in that moment. And if I can find it. Here you go.
I am not gay. I have relationships with women and sex with men.
And I got news for you. That means you're gay.
There you go. So, all right, back to Dr. Phil.
Too much is too much. He just said America has much in common with a country that funds, trains, and weaponizes terror groups like Hezbollah, Hamas, and the Houthis. Really? Really? Maybe you do. I don't. I don't know anybody in America that does. According to Amnesty International, Iran censors media, jams satellite television channels, and blocks mobile apps and social media platforms. Yet the same state television airs torture-tainted confessions. The Islamic Penal Code includes flogging, amputation, crucifixion, and stoning. Muslims who adopt another religion risk torture and the death penalty for apostasy. Now, what does that mean? You endorse another belief. You abandon and renounce the belief of a religion or political position that the state wants, they'll kill you. The legal age of marriage for girls is 13. Now, fathers can obtain judicial permission for their daughters to marry even younger, but at 13, it's just a given. We have a lot in common with these people. Are you kidding me? Let's look at the irony here. NBC is reporting that Arab nations are privately praising the strike. Qatar, Turkey, Saudi Arabia have not condemned the U.S., but MSNBC did, and they did so immediately after the strikes on Saturday night. So these other countries are not, but MSNBC is.
Now, Commonwealth.
Oh, I didn't need to see Mad Cow. Didn't need to see Mad Cow.
Wisdom about this president, about the political movement that he leads, is that he is supposedly isolationist, that he is supposedly anti-war, that has never been exactly right. That's always been kind of a lazy common wisdom.
Israel's initiation of this war was not about preempting an imminent threat. This was a deliberate attempt to sabotage U.S. diplomacy with Iran.
Really? Israel is sabotaging U.S. diplomacy. You might as well be watching Iran public media.
آمریکا با این اقدامی که انجام داد علیه ایران و حریم هوایی ایران را
How are these people on the air? They're on the air because we have free speech, but we also have the right to think critically. We have the right to question what we're being told. You should be insulted and you should be offended and you should damn well let them know it. Today,
hey, Dr. Phil, I never saw this coming with like Dr. Phil being super like pro-Trump and level-headed and all of that. Not that I knew much about Dr. Phil back in the day. Dr. Phil was almost like a meme show back in the day. Like I would just see all like the clips. I never consistently watched Dr. Phil. So hearing him be so pro-Trump is pretty crazy. I never saw this coming. Maybe for people that watched him a long time ago, maybe you saw that, but I never expected this at all. Bird Up for 10 says, I was dying of dysentery, and then Kamala called me and said that these two Iranian guys wanted to hang out with me and talk about Toby Spider-Man. Thanks, Kamala. You cured my dysentery. I forgot about the Kamala called me memes. I forgot about the Kamala called me memes. We have to go back to those. Do you remember that? Kamala called me. Kamala called me. Kamala called me. Yada, 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 yada. So good. So good. Let's see here. Epic Mike is here. Doing my job, giving Jeremy his yearly in pass to avoid cancellation, one-time use. Let's go. This is how I got away with saying Munchie Ninja's name incorrectly that one time. And by the way, as I've said, I'm a great guy. I have never said that word in traffic. I've never said it playing video games. I've never said that word. Like it was the first time. Like it was the first time I've ever said that. Okay? Thank you, Mike. I appreciate it. Josiah Rises for 20. Mike's here. Hi, Jeremy. Look at that. Such a nice guy. Josiah Rises gets like 1 million views per video. Like I'll see like 2 hours have passed. Josiah Rises has like 800,000 views on a video. That man knows how to upload some videos. What's up, Josiah? In the house. Got that one. Inquiring Minds, new member. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Little Jim's Ringo Halo says, where are the sharks? Where are the sharks with the freaking laser sights? Granola Grin says, CNN is playing 4D fuck around, find out. Fantastic, Mr. Knox says, so when the F is of Trump, Obama, and Bush on the pikes, U.S. flags burning and chanting death to America. It's all a facade, says the left. I call BS. Old Renaissance Boomer says, how am I supposed to sleep after that? Sam Uri says, Jay, if a wife does a girl, does that count as making the guy a cuck asking for a friend? That's a little, even for CobraCast After Dark, I'd have to go into way too many. I have more questions before I could answer that one, so I'd need more deets. Josiah Rises for 20 says, Mike gets a wrench, but I don't. I see how it is, Jeremy. You know what? I'll take Mike's wrench right now and give you one, Josiah, just because. So let's see. Add as a moderator. Okay. And where's Mike? Comment, Mike. I'm taking your fucking wrench from you as soon as you comment. I'm taking it. It's gone. There it is. All right. Let me take Mike's. Let's see. Boom. All right. Mike has no. Now we're done. Josiah, you have more subs. You sent bigger super chats. It's all good. So Josiah just took Mike's wrench. So now when you see Josiah comment, he'll have one and Mike won't. Okay. So there we go. I mean, look, man, $20, man. Like, all right, hang on. Mike he doesn't have a wrench anymore. Oh man. Laughing Man says, I sent big super chats and Jeremy never modded me. Hey, Josiah, let's go. That's how you grift your friends. All right, we're cool. Fuck you, Mike. That's how you do it. All right. I got the N-word pass from Mike before I did all this. So I'm good. I'm in the clear. Look what he said. No, I can't highlight that, Mike. I can't highlight that. I saw what you said, but I'm not highlighting that shit. That's a great comment though, Mike. SBZ says Dr. Phil admitted he's fake and not smart. He sawed his own leg in front of Shaq. Really? Cole Hauser says I'm darker than Mike. Here's an ethnic N-word pat. Woo! We are racking up. Tonight, boys. Let's go. Bird Up says Josiah taking credit for black man's work. Lying Dog Face Pony Soldier with a gift of membership. Thank you, Lying Dog Face Pony Soldier. Appreciate that. You guys make this again. The chat's always the MVP, man. That's just there's no doubt about it. I have to show you this right here. So CNN, after getting destroyed, CNN has gone into full panic mode. So this is CNN after Trump threatened with lawsuits and roasted them, and Pete Hegseth roasted them. This is CNN now.
What we now know from that briefing, first time we know it, is that as it was designed, as these massive ordnance penetrators with significant computer software engineering went directly down to those 3 ventilator shafts, specifically as designed. And until you actually do it, you never know if it's going to work. It worked. It seems to have worked flawlessly. That is very important information. He also pointed out some things we take for granted. A Patriot interceptor is traveling at 3,000 miles an hour, about Mach 4, to hit a ballistic missile, traveling at about 6,000 miles an hour, Mach 8.
This is called a backpedal.
Difficult. We take for granted how this stuff all works. I thought that was very important to lay out. So as I come out of this briefing, I now know BDA level 2, as I mentioned. Level 1, first 24 hours, you're looking at imagery. Level 2, did the ordnance work? Did everything go as we had wanted? The answer now is yes. And we're now in the phase of level 3, collecting all sources of information and then putting that together with nuclear experts to determine if they have these pieces and parts here, could they reconstitute them? With some political analysts to say, would the Iranians do that? What would be the restraints? To then have a comprehensive assessment of where we are. With the objective being Iran.
So he's just doing all he can. We're not going to listen to the rest of this. This is CNN going, we're sorry, Daddy Trump. We're sorry. We apologize. Somebody says he's staying in a Motel 6. It does kind of look like they had a quick Motel 6 setup. They're like, pull over, rent a Motel 6, get a camera. We don't even need good audio. We just need to get some video of somebody saying that they accomplished everything. That's it right there. Josiah says, I pulled a reverse Riri on Mike. Let's go. Thank you, Josiah. I appreciate it. Darth Venomous says, thank you for the 50. Says, wish you will be a Denver for the Fan Expo. Can't get enough of CobraCast. Well, thank you. I appreciate it. I don't do a lot of traveling to conventions anymore just because it takes so much time because I don't fly. I don't fly. Look at that. Josiah got a membership gifted from Lying Dogface Pony Soldier. Dude, Josiah, you need to play the lottery right now. Holy crap. Josiah got a membership too. Yeah, so I don't do because I don't fly. If I can help it, I don't fly. So yeah, I don't. So whenever I do go to conventions, it takes me forever to drive, but that's why I like to do them in Orlando, right there in my backyard. So but thank you for the 50 and thank you for the support on CobraCast. I greatly appreciate it. Operation One says, hey, Jeremy, and all good morning. Best wishes and regards from Israel. Thank you for your help with Iran. I know it wasn't easy for you, so thank you. Hey, thank you, brother. I appreciate it. And as I've said many times, like, I mean, I'm going to give my strong opinions. And, you know, I've got, there's a small group of people that really wanted me to be like anti-Israel. I'm like, I'm not anti-Israel. I'm not pro-Israel. I'm pro-people, but I'm pro-America. That's my priority. I have nothing against anyone. I know CNN and MSNBC have told me for years that I'm supposed to hate Russia and, you know, because Russia bad, Russia bad, Russia bad. And the more that the media tells me that I have to do something or I need to do something, the less I'm going to do it. And the more that I have people that are like chirping at my ankles, like a bunch of chihuahuas, like, oh, you need to go anti-Israel, Jeremy. Why? I don't need to. If you want to go anti the politicians that are pro-Israel, that's fine. But I'm not just going to, you know, do that because, you know, the same people that say that Trump is controlled by Israel are the same people that say I am or that someone else is. And at that point, you've lost all credibility from me to say that. But thank you, Operation One. I'm glad you're safe, brother. Lying Dog Face Pony Soldier with the Get the Membership. Another one. SBZ says, please see Dr. Phil and Shaq clip in Scary Movie 4. Ah, okay. I have not seen Scary Movie 4, I don't think. If I have, it was a long time ago. Mike's MMA World says, watch Mobland. Gary was right. It's the shit. I did, and it was great. Why did this hang on? What's going on here? I don't know why I got reset on that. Hang on. I got to see what's going on with YouTube's all jacked up on me all of a sudden. So there we go. Okay, cool. Yeah, but Mobland is great. I watched Mobland. It's awesome. The first couple of episodes, if it doesn't grab you in those first couple of episodes, please stay the course. It's a very good show. I very much enjoyed it. Highly recommend Mobland. If you have not seen it, you should watch it. Jay Hailstorm with $1.25. Let's go. Thank you, Jay Hailstorm. You crazy bastard. I would say we miss Jay Hailstorm on Mario Kart, but we don't. We don't at all. Like, not even a little bit. Not even a little bit do we miss him. So it's actually nice not having Hailstorm on there. I've actually been enjoying it. It's been very peaceful. So, Josiah says, look at that wrench, chat. Is Mike just gone? Mike, come on, man. Come back. If you come back in the chat, I'll give you a wrench. Come on. Come on back, Mike. Come on, Mike. You just got to comment. I'll get you one. In the meantime, let's listen to this right here again.
You know what? We basically have two countries that have been fighting so long and so hard that they don't know what the fuck they're doing. They don't know what the fuck they're doing. They don't know what the fuck they're doing. You understand that? You understand that? They don't know what the fuck they're doing. They don't know what the fuck they're doing. They don't know what the fuck they're doing. You understand that? You understand that? They violated it, but Israel violated it too. Israel, as soon as we made the deal, they came out and they dropped a load of bombs like I've never seen before. I'm not happy with Israel. You know, when they say, okay, now you have 12 hours, you don't go out in the first hour and just drop everything you have on them. It's the biggest load that we've seen. You know what? We basically have two countries that have been fighting so long and so hard that they don't know what the fuck they're doing. They don't know what the fuck they're doing. They don't know what the fuck they're doing. You understand that? You understand that? They don't know what the fuck they're doing. They don't know what the fuck they're doing. They don't know what the fuck they're doing. You understand that? You understand that? So I'm not happy with them. I'm not happy with Iran either. But I'm really unhappy if Israel's going out this morning because the one rocket that didn't land, that was shot, perhaps by mistake, it didn't land. I'm not happy about that. You understand that? Raise your voice! You know what? We basically have two countries that have been fighting so long and so hard that they don't know what the fuck they're doing. They don't know what the fuck they're doing. They don't know what the fuck they're doing. You understand that? You understand that? They don't know what the fuck they're doing. They don't know what the fuck they're doing. They don't know what the fuck they're doing. You understand that?
The fact that they put Epstein in it, like, I'm wondering, like, is this a Trump hater? Was it a meme to put that in? I was very confused by that one. It's funny. I still think it's funny, but it's like, I'm like, who made this? So I have no idea if they're Trump haters or not, but it's still good. Okay, we got to talk about this. Okay? We got to talk about this. So I don't know if you guys heard about this story. Cobra Kai, one of my favorite shows of all time. Okay? And the actor that plays Kreese apparently bit his co-star, the Asian chick from the show, at a Cobra Kai convention. Okay? Now, I got questions. Okay? I got questions. This is the altercation right here. We're going to watch it. Okay? Let's watch this.
You cannot fight people. That is not okay.
That is assault.
And it's 100% up to her if she wants to pursue charges. I'd like to understand why you did that.
I apologize. I was just playing because we're very playful together, and I bit down too hard, and I meant to.
She's got a mouth mark on her.
I know.
No, we do not play like that. I
apologize.
No, I am really pissed. You have left a mark on my body, which in your 80-year-old brain, you think is play. Sir, were you raised in a ditch? Is that how people treated you when you were a child? You yelled at me. The audacity. How dare you, sir? How dare
You
you?
definitely should not have done that when
Yeah.
you are in the wrong.
I'm very sorry that I got angry because I was indulging in something improper by doing that, and I'm very sincerely sorry.
I'm going to just ask some questions here, okay? Where's the bite mark? Where's the bite mark? Photograph of evidence. Where's the bite mark? There's no bite mark. I see nothing. They even said, like, you left a mark on me. There's no bite mark.
Yeah.
Rick, is this not insane to you?
Where is it? Let's slow this down, okay? Let's slow this down. We're going to put it at half speed. I'm going to mute it. You tell me where the bite mark is. I don't see a bite mark anywhere. So, based on the evidence at hand, I stand with Kreese. I stand with Kreese 100%. Kreese did nothing wrong. Here we go.
By doing that, and I'm very sincerely sorry.
Yeah.
Rick, is this not insane to you?
I don't know, man. It's a weird story. And much like how Wesley Snipes should have never gone to prison for tax evasion because he was passenger 57, he was Simon Phoenix. Like, come on. He's Blade. You don't put Blade in prison. And you do not arrest Kreese. That's the rules. I don't make them up, but that's the rules. Okay? A judge should have looked at it and said, you were passenger 57. You were Simon Phoenix. You're Blade. You have immunity forever, sir. Same goes for Kreese. Can we show a little respect? Can we show a little respect for our legends? That's all I'm asking. Alex, for a $60, says, been with you since the last Jedi days in Jeremy I Trust, also from Israel. Where's Jay? Well, thank you for the super chat. And since the Last Jedi, you've been with me since the Last Jedi. Crazy, brother. Jay, isn't he playing Fortnite, or he was playing Fortnite? He was playing Fortnite. But Jay is the best of us, though. Thank you so much for that. I appreciate it. Taker says, statement from the Ayatollah on the bombing. Durka. I want to say it, but I'll get clipped. Just go watch Team America World Police, all right? Just go watch Team America. It's the greatest thing ever, all right? Bird Up says, to be fair to Crease, Korean barbecue is really tasty. Granola Grin says, allegedly, Jeremy and Ben Shapiro were seen drinking coffee together, swapping hats, and giggling like schoolgirls who just ran away with something. CNN. Yeah, fuck Ben Shapiro. Piece of shit. Sola Felix is still not as bloodthirsty as Lindsey Graham. That's true. Mike's MMA World says, bite the F where? I know. Brian says, bite first, bite soft, no marking. That's the Cobra Kai way. Okay, so I was only planning on going live for an hour for my second stream today, but we're almost at 2 hours. I'm going to end it now because it is almost 1 a.m. Central, because I'm in the Central time zone. A lot of people think I'm in the Eastern time zone because I'm in Florida, but I'm in the panhandle of Florida, lower Alabama. But we're going to end it there. I do appreciate it. This was an awesome stream. I wasn't really wanting to go live, but I thought about it. I was like, the people would probably appreciate it. So I'm happy that you guys enjoyed the stream, and I thank you for the support. Mike, get back in here so I can give you a wrench back. Mike, get in here. Mike's mad. God. Mike's mad. Mike, are you anywhere, buddy? Don't forget, you got about 24 hours on the Uncle IDOT shirt. So if you have not, go over to Teespring. And you know what? I'll give you all a little tease on the next design that I'm looking to add. And it's one that we've had before. But it's one of, like, I love this design. Let me see if I can find it really quickly. Somebody was wearing this shirt at a convention, at a con that Jay was at. And let's see if I can find it. So it'll probably be is that it? All right, open image in new tab. So right here. This, I love this logo, and we should have gone with this a long time ago. But boom. I want to put these shirts back in the shop. I love this CobraCast design right here. Jay saw someone wearing this at a convention, and I love it. A real American, I wanted to say podcast and not hero, but I want to say a real American podcast. But I love this shirt. So I think this is the one we're gonna launch next. So yeah, man. That's probably gonna be it. So if you guys are interested. So let's see. All right. So cool. Looks like people want that one. So I will make sure that we get that one launched. So, but again, Uncle IDOT is there for another less than, like, right at about 23 hours. So if you guys are interested, go check that one out. And then probably Monday we'll launch the CobraCast one. So I'll keep you guys posted. Maximus BT with the 99¢. Thank you. Again, Harley Dave, you mad lad. 100 gifted memberships. Insane. Thank you, Harley Dave, so much. Really appreciate it, brother. I don't know why that happened on that. Let's see if I can just double check this. Okay, there we go. All right. So thank you guys. Have a great weekend. I'll be live tomorrow, but you know, tomorrow's Friday. But I hope you all have a great weekend, and I'm going to leave you with Sabaton. Have a good night. We'll talk to all of you later. Bye, everyone.